Black lives and blue lines. When cops crossed the line, Terrell Jackson exhaled heavily as he locked the front door of Sweet Success Bakery, his pride and joy. For 3 years, this corner store in Westwood had been his life, waking at 4 a.m. to prepare fresh pastries that drew customers from across town. Yet despite his success, the sideways glances from certain neighbors never ceased. "Have a good night, Mr. Jackson," called Mrs. Porter, waving from her flower shop. One of the few who treated him with respect. "You too, Mrs. P," he replied, keys jingling in his hand. The streetlights flickered on as dusk settled over the neighborhood. Terrell checked his watch, 7:30 p.m. Just enough time to make it to his son's basketball game. He straightened his collar and started toward his car, parked in the small lot behind the row of businesses. A police cruiser rolled slowly past, the officer inside tracking Terrell's movements. Nothing new. Same officer, same time, nearly every evening. Watching. Waiting. As if Terrell's very existence was suspicious, the police cruiser circled back, headlights cutting through the growing darkness. Terrell kept walking, eyes forward, hands visible. The vehicle pulled alongside him, passenger window rolling down. "Evening, sir. Mind if we have a word?" Officer Reeves, badge number 4872, stared at him with cold eyes. "I'm actually running late for my son's game," Terrell replied politely. "This won't take long." A second officer emerged from the driver's side. "Dawson," according to his nameplate. "We've had reports of drug activity behind these businesses." Terrell's stomach knotted. "I own the bakery. Been closing up at this time for 3 years. Then you won't mind if we take a look in your bag?" Dawson pointed to Terrell's gym bag. "I don't consent to searches without." Officer Reeves grabbed the bag. "Looks like we've got resistance." His partner shoved Terrell against the wall, the rough brick scraping his cheek. "There's nothing in there. Just my gym clothes." Terrell protested. "Well, what's this?" Reeves pulled out a small plastic bag containing white powder. "Looks like someone's been baking more than bread." Terrell's blood ran cold. "That's not mine. I've never seen that before." "Terrell Jackson, you're under arrest for possession with intent to distribute," Dawson announced, cuffing him with unnecessary force. "You have the right to remain silent." The cruiser's lights flashed mockingly as neighbors gathered to witness his humiliation. News of Terrell's arrest spread through Westwood like wildfire. The community split, some believing the worst without question, others rallying behind a man they'd watched build a business from nothing. They planted that evidence. Terrell wouldn't touch drugs. Mrs. Porter declared at an emergency community meeting 3 days after his arrest, while Terrell sat in a cell, unable to make the excessive bail, his 19-year-old assistant manager, Layla, kept the bakery running. "We won't let them destroy what you built," she promised during her one permitted visit. His attorney, Marcus Wright, reviewed the police report with skepticism. "The timing is suspicious. No body cameras activated? Convenient." Outside the precinct, protesters gathered daily. Signs reading, "Justice for Terrell" and "End Racial Profiling" filled the sidewalks. Meanwhile, Terrell's son, Devin, faced taunts at school. "Your dad's a drug dealer," they whispered as teachers pretended not to hear. The 14-year-old's shoulders carried the unfair weight of his father's false accusations. Layla wiped down counters after closing, exhausted from running the bakery alone for the past week. As she emptied the security camera's memory card, something Terrell handled daily, she paused. Why hadn't anyone checked this footage? Her hands trembled as she inserted the card into her laptop. Scrolling back to that fateful evening, her breath caught. There, in crisp black and white, was Terrell locking up. And then, unmistakable, officers Reeves and Dawson had been watching the bakery for hours before the arrest. "Oh my God," she whispered, pressing play. The footage showed Officer Reeves approaching the back entrance 20 minutes before confronting Terrell. He fiddled with something near the dumpster, then returned to the cruiser. Layla grabbed her phone, hands shaking. "Mr. Wright? You need to see this. Now." Across town, Marcus Wright was piecing together another puzzle. The substance in the bag wasn't cocaine as charged, but baking powder. However, the lab report had been deliberately misread. Funny coincidence, his police contact whispered over coffee. Reeves and Dawson made 3 similar arrests this year. All black business owners. All charges eventually dropped, but only after businesses closed from the damage. A pattern, Marcus noted, his pen scratching furiously across his notepad. They're targeting successful black entrepreneurs. But why? Follow the money, his contact suggested. Someone's buying those properties cheap after the arrests. Devon paced outside the precinct, waiting for Mr. Wright. The security footage had been submitted to Internal Affairs, but Terrell remained in custody. They're stalling, Marcus explained, straightening his tie. Time to apply public pressure. Inside, Captain Harris scowled as they demanded answers. These are serious allegations against my officers. With serious evidence, Marcus countered, sliding a folder across the desk. Including property records showing Officer Reeves' brother-in-law buying foreclosed businesses at half their value. Businesses formerly owned by your officers, drug dealer, arrests. The captain's face hardened. I'll need time to investigate. We don't have time, Devon interrupted. My father is innocent. Every day he's in there destroys what he built. Either you release Terrell Jackson today and suspend those officers, or tomorrow this evidence goes to every news outlet in the state, Marcus declared. Plus the FBI Civil Rights Division. Captain Harris reached for his phone. Get me the district attorney. Meanwhile, across town, Mrs. Porter and 50 protesters blocked the entrance to the police station, chanting, "No justice, no peace." The courtroom fell silent as Judge Simmons reviewed the evidence. Terrell sat straight-backed beside Marcus, eyes fixed forward. In the gallery, Devon, Layla, and Mrs. Porter formed a wall of support. The state moves to dismiss all charges against Mr. Jackson, the prosecutor announced, unable to meet Terrell's gaze. Before I rule, Judge Simmons said, removing her glasses, I want to address the officer's conduct. This court has reviewed the surveillance footage and property records. I am referring this matter for criminal investigation. Officers Reeves and Dawson shifted uncomfortably at the back of the courtroom. Case dismissed, the judge declared, slamming her gavel. Mr. Jackson, on behalf of the justice system, I extend my sincere apologies. Outside, reporters swarmed as Terrell embraced Devon. What happens now? Someone shouted. Terrell squared his shoulders. Now we rebuild trust. Now we demand accountability. And tomorrow morning, we serve the best damn pastries this town has ever tasted. The crowd erupted in cheers as justice, delayed but not denied, finally arrived in Westwood.